Hi guys, in today's tutorial we're going to learn how to make a fondant unicorn. So first of all we're going to start off with some modelling paste and we're just going to roll a cone-like shape, and using the back of your little finger just create an indentation around the middle of your shape. Once you're happy with the shape that you've got, you need to move that onto some greaseproof paper so it's easier to handle, and then we're going to start to make the legs. So you want to roll some cones that are thicker at one side than the other, and once you have got the right size, if you create another one the same and then cut them to size so that they fit on the bottom, and these are going to create the legs of the unicorn. Stick these on with some water or some edible glue. Once you're happy with the position of the legs, we're then going to work on the front legs. So again, roll the cylinder shape as before. Remember to keep the bottom quite thick and the top quite thin. Using the knife, angling it within the fondant and cutting away, and this is going to allow the join onto the body to be a lot smoother. Once you've created one leg, move on to the other one and create a similar size and shape. Have a play around with different positions on the body until you're happy with the position that you've got. I've angled these slightly, so I'm just shaping that with my fingers and making sure they're both the same size. And once I'm happy with those, we're then going to make the hooves for the unicorn. Now I've picked to do mine in baby pink, but you can pick whatever colour you want. So to start off with, you just need to do 2 pink balls roughly the same size, and we're going to flatten them with our fingers and then just stick them on the legs with a little bit of water. We're going to do exactly the same thing for the front legs, and once they're stuck onto the bottom of the front legs, we can then position the front legs onto the body and then stick that down with a little bit of water or edible glue. You want to make sure that you're sticking the front legs not only to the body but also to the legs on the bottom as well, and this just gives it a little bit of extra support. Once you're happy with the position of the legs, we're then just going to take a cocktail stick and dip it in some water, and then we're going to put this through the body, and this is going to give us a bit of internal support, but also it's going to give something for the head to actually stick onto. Here's what you should have so far. I've just used the back of my stitching tool there just to create a little indentation in the stomach for a belly button. So for the head shape, we're going to take quite a large chunk of our modelling paste and roll it into an egg-like shape. We're going to work on the middle of the face first, just creating a little groove, and this is going to be where the eye sockets sit. So you can see there that I've just pushed in that middle bit and pulled a tiny little bit back for the neck. Using your little finger just to smooth over where we've been, and then I've got a balling tool and I'm just creating 2 indentations, and these are going to be where the eyes go. I've got markings of a nose and a little smiley face, and just re-going over any parts I feel need tucking in and re-going over the eyes. Check the head against the body for size, and once you're happy with the size that you've got, we're then going to work on the eyes. So I've just got a small ball of fondant, same size for both eyes. I'm just checking that they fit, and then we're going to flatten those pieces of fondant and make almost like a teardrop shape, and then these are what we're going to actually stick in the eyes. I'm just sticking them in with a little bit of water. Once you're happy with the position of one, you can put in the other one. So you can see I'm just squeezing together one of the corners just to give it that teardrop shape, and then I'm just going to pop it into the socket that we've made, just using my modelling tool just to push it into place and then flatten it down with my fingers. So once you're happy with the eyes, we're then going to work on colouring in the eyes. Now I've taken Sugar Flares Aqua and I'm just painting the circles in the eyes. Now I'm doing the outline first, quite faint, and then once I'm happy with the outline, we're then going to shade that area in. Do the same for the other side. Try to make each eye exactly the same. Don't worry about going too close to the top of the eyelid because this is where we're going to cover anyway with our eyelash line. So for the eyelash line, I've just got some black modelling paste. We're going to roll it quite thin into a sausage shape but pointy at one side. Check the width of it against your eye socket, and once you're happy that you've got the right thickness, we're just going to use some water just to stick that down. So I'm using my brush and my modelling tool just to push that into place as to where I want to go. And once you're happy with the right size that you've got, you can trim off any excess and then just pushing that flick into place. Once you've done that, we're then going to do 2 more eyelashes. So again, rolling quite a thin piece of the fondant and just using your brush just to place this on the eyelash line. You can use your brush instead of your modelling tool if you want, just to push it into place. And just do the same for the other side. Once you've got both of those done, we're going to work on the pupils. So again, just 2 small black balls, and we're just going to flatten those and stick them in the eyes. You shouldn't need any water at this point because the eyes should still be wet from where we've painted. Just going to use my brush to pick these up and place them in. Try to get both in the same position. And I'm just using the back of my modelling tool just to push these into place so that they don't just drop off. And that's what you should have so far. Next, we're just going to put the eyebrows on. So again, just some black fondant, rolling it quite thin. Again, pointy at one side and thicker at the other. And we're just going to use some water to stick these on. Now I prefer to put them on straight and then just use the back of my modelling tool to then push the eyebrow around. Once you've done one side, just do the other. And then we're going to roll some small white balls, and these are going to be stuck on the eyes in the middle. And that's for the light reflection. Next, I've just got some royal blue, and I'm just going to paint this around the outline of the eye. Just gives it a little bit more definition and makes it stand out a little bit more. You only need a tiny bit of this and a really, really thin brush just for the outline. Just got another brush that's just got some clean water on it, and I'm just smudging the area that I actually got some of the paint on. I'm just removing that off, but that's what you should have so far. So I've got some pink shimmer and a dry brush, and we're just going to put these on either side of the cheeks and a little bit in the middle of the forehead. Just using a light dusting because you don't want to put too much on. And then once you've shaded in these areas, we're just going to get a thinner brush and we're going to paint inside the mouth. Just taking a tiny little bit of dust and just putting it in a little bit at a time. And then once you're happy, we're just going to wet the other side of the cocktail stick, and then I've put another one in for additional support, but just wetting both of those and then just sticking the head on. Now I left this to dry while I created another unicorn. I would advise leaving it to dry before we do anything else to the head. I've just stuck in a cocktail stick and wetting that one, and we're going to roll again another piece of fondant and wrap that around just to make the horn. Using a bit of water just to stick those rings together. And next we're going to work on the ears. It's got a blob of white fondant and I'm making it into a diamond shape. And then I'm going to cut that in half. And using some pink, we're going to do the same again, but on a slightly smaller scale. And this is then going to sit within the whites that we've just made, and this is going to be for the ears. So just using a bit of water and the back of my modelling tool just to push in some grooves. Stick those pink bits on, and then we're going to use the modelling tool again just to put those grooves back in. and a little bit of water underneath the ear and just sticking those on the head. Once you're happy with the position of both of the ears, we're going to put the hair on the unicorn. Now I've gone for pastel colours, but you can go for whatever colour you want. So first we're going to create the tail. So what I've done is I've just rolled one strip of fondant from each colour. So I've got 5 strips in total, all roughly the same size and same thickness. And then we're going to put these together and then stick them on the back of the unicorn. So once you've got your colours, you can place them any which way you want, but I decided to put the pink and purple at the top. So just grabbing them all together and squeezing them just to get them to stick together. And then I'm just going to roll one end so that it all starts to blend together. And then just flatten it slightly so that's going to stick on the back of our unicorn. I'm going to twist the ends of these colours and it's just going to give the effect of the hair is a little bit curly. These will need probably overnight to set firmly. Just a little bit of water and then just push that into place. Next we're going to work on the hair around the face. So you can do whatever kind of colour combination that you want. But again, you just want to roll your piece of fondant and then twist. And this is going to give a nice little curl to the unicorn's hair. Again, just using water just to stick that down. Any hair that touches the face that comes away from the top of the head, I would always put a little bit of water so that that actually then sticks to the head. Just gives it a little bit more support. When you're placing the different colours on top of the head, always try to put the colours sort of behind the horn. This is going to hide the join of all the colours coming off the head. Again, you can put them any which way that you want, whatever you think looks best. Once you're happy with one side, you can then move across to the other. Using the same method, rolling your sausage shape that's thinner at one side and then just using your fingers just to twist it slightly. Just keep adding hair on the front until you're happy with how it looks. I think I did 3 at one side and possibly 4 at the other, making sure that I've got one of each colour at the front. Just using my modelling tool to push it into position. And then once you're happy with the front, we're then going to work on the back. Now when I've done the hair for the back, I've done it all coming down. You can do it to one side or you can do it, you know, down the middle like I've done. So with these ones, I've rolled the shapes again and I've flattened one side. So once we've got all the colours that we need, we're then going to do exactly the same thing that we did before. So just twist the end and it's going to give the effect of the curl. And we're going to stick it on with just a little bit of water. I'll put the longest strands at the bottom, and you always want to start at the bottom and then add hair to the top. And then that way it's going to hide the joins of the hair. So you can see me just twisting these one after the other before I actually stick them on to the unicorn. And then it's just about placing them on the back whichever way that you want them to go. Making sure that they're fully stuck down. And here's what you should have. And the last thing that we need to do is just paint the horn. So I've got some Super Gold Welcome and I've mixed that with some lemon extract. And I'm just going to paint the horn. Now you can use gold, silver, rose gold, whatever kind of colour that you want or what you feel goes with the unicorn. And once that's all painted, you should have something that looks like this. If you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and comment down below. To see more of my videos, please click the links on the screen now. And if you haven't already, Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future videos. Thanks for watching.